Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Devo, and I'm doing a quick. Basically, I'm voicing over the footage I took yesterday as I built a website. Uh, I'm gonna start doing these live pretty soon, but I want to kind of just go through everything real quick, make sure I can do it instead of trying to talk while doing it. And it was a lot of stuff happening at the same time. Anyway, I'm gonna be building a website for a company that basically is based out of here in Panama, and they butcher stuff like beef and things like that, like just different animals. They provide different animal meats and stuff like that. They smoke them. Really great company. I met the guy who does everything in the Thursday market, and it's usually where he's at. And I noticed that he doesn't have a website like many businesses here in Panama. They just don't seem to be very hip to the websites and technological side of things when it comes to business, or they don't. I don't know. It's like they don't believe in it, or they don't trust in it yet. Because a lot of times here, they use WhatsApp and they use Instagram to kind of do everything. And this company was no different. I've been trying to sell websites and my services for the longest, and it has been a no-go. So I felt like, you know what? Let me do something different. Let me pivot. Right? Let me see if I can just give away these assets and see if I can get customers from that. Right? So here I am. So we're gonna transition over here. This is the gentleman. I can't really pronounce his name correctly, so I'm not gonna try. But anyway, this is the message just to kind of give y'all an idea. I hit him up. I was like, hey, this is me. This is me after I got this information from the Thursday market. And then, he wrote back, or I should say, I asked for some information that day. He didn't get back to me. So then in the morning, I contacted him and I wrote in Spanish. Again, I am in Panama. So I was like, hey man, I need the information. And then he basically sent the information that I needed, which was pretty good. After they sent the information I needed, it was pretty straightforward and easy to do from there. I'm gonna probably scroll down here and maybe even show off some of the pictures. So as you can see, he sent me about 100 pictures. Excellent. He actually ended up sending me more pictures later on. Let me see. And these are just some of the messages between us two. And let me get to some more information that's relevant. Actually, hold on. Here's some of the pictures, so you can see the images. So getting the images is sometimes you can do that from stealing them from a website or like social medias and shit like that. I say stealing, whatever, just taking them from there. But the resolution is not always as good when you do it that way. I personally prefer to just contact the person, the company or whatever, and say, hey, send me the photo you want that interaction as well. If you want to surprise a company with the stuff or a person, then that's one thing. Then you can always have them send the stuff afterwards. Like, hey, this is what I built. Ta-da! If you want it to look better, send me stuff. That works too. But with this person, I spoke with them directly, so I just had them send me the stuff that you'll see that I also had them send me the logo. I will take this logo and I will make it cleaner, and I'll make it what's it called? Invisible background or whatever. I can't think right now. But I'll make it an invisible background so it'll be cleaner when you put it on the website as well. But here I am in ChatGPT. When you go to ChatGPT, this is much more useful to actually put the prompt in to where you're able to actually get the website to come out cleanly. Okay, you're basically gonna have ChatGPT. You're gonna put in everything that you want the prompt to do or say immediately, right? You want to get as much out in the very first prompt as possible. That way, it's less chances of you having to use more tickets and having more mistakes on the website. That tends to be a real big issue when I'm making these websites. It's like, you get everything you want initially, and then all those little issues start to add up. Like, oh, add this. Oh, you took this off. Why you do that? So that kind of sucks, but it's way easier, y'all, way easier than trying to code a website scratch or having some sort of like, actual background in IT and all that stuff. Okay, this is something anybody can do. So let me put the stuff in here. All right, so these are the pictures of some of the pictures I'm going to use on the website. Sorry if it's really windy, y'all. I'm walking my dogs right now while doing this. I'll try and edit some of that wind out. It's windy in the house as well because it's always hot and I always have the windows open. So sue me. I don't have the best quality mic and all that stuff, but try and learn something. Okay. With that being said, these, or should I say, those pictures are pictures of the products and also the logo for the website, right? This is important to put into ChatGPT so that it has an idea of what you're trying to build. I also told it to build around the logo design and the colors and things like that, so the website is conducive to the company's design. Okay, you'll see in a minute it's going to actually start doing the prompt. It's going to start creating it. There it is. So it's creating the prompt now. It's going to basically be doing it all in real time. As you can see, the prompt was kind of long, right? Like I said before, you want to add as much as possible to the prompt, the initial prompt, as much as possible, right? Some people might be like, oh, it's overload. It's not. It's gonna do everything you ask it, or most of it at least, in the initial prompt. That's what you want to do. You want to at least get it going. That way, you have just little to work off of. It's gonna do like one or two things. It makes it right. Now you got to spend way more credits to actually complete what you could have had started already from the initial. That makes sense? All right. So this is the prompt being built out, and okay. Now I'm in Lovable. Now what you do is you just take the prompt that you just had built in ChatGPT and you paste it. Simple as that. You paste it. Now what I didn't do right in this one was I pasted it and I didn't put the dang on logo. Do not make the same mistake I did. When you put make sure when you go into Lovable and you paste the prompt, you actually put the logo in as well. Because that has an idea of coloration for the site and what it's supposed to be named, all that stuff, right? It's gonna know these things, but it's just gonna make up its own logo or have no logo at all if you don't put the actual logo that you're gonna be using for the website. So it's very imperative. You don't have to add the initial pictures first. I'd say that's kind of like a little bit of too much. You could, but I like to actually give it the command of when I add the pictures to put these in the gallery, to put these for the items and things like that. You see how it created, it used AI pictures for the items and stuff like that. That's fine at the start. And honestly, if you don't have pictures at all, sometimes that's fine, period. I made an app for Domino's and it was all AI images, I think, for the first little bit, and it looked good like that, right? Okay, so make sure you put the picture, or not the picture, the logo, when you first put your first prompt in. That way the actual website doesn't turn out like this one. You see how it has that stuff at the top? It's just the initials. It doesn't have the actual logo. Later on, you're gonna see the actual logo, because what I ended up doing was remaking the prompt in a different one, and starting over. And the website is actually gonna look even better. It's gonna look very much similar to this, but it's gonna be even better. Let me get to that real quick. Okie dokie. So here, real quick, actually, is the logo, right? This is me putting in the prompt. This is what you want to do when you get the logo. If it's not already clean, it doesn't even matter if it's already clean. When you get a logo, it's always going to have like a white or a black or whatever colored background. And when you put it on the website, it's always going to show that background. It's going to be a square or a rectangle or whatever of that what's behind the logo. Always. It's always going to be like that. In order to erase that, you want to go into ChatGPT, unless you have some sort of skills in editing or whatever. You can go to ChatGPT and then you just put in what I'm saying right here, right? Give me a high resolution version of this, right? And make it a transparent background, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it does stupid stuff like it'll give you the downloadable link, and it doesn't always be downloadable. Make sure to tell it that, hey, make it visible, right? And then it'll pop it up on the screen like you'll see here in a second. When it pops up on the screen, if there's no mistakes, because sometimes it is, it does make mistakes. All right, so as you can see, the app, or I should say the picture, is created. And then I took that picture and I put it onto the app. Easy peasy. Okay. So the next step is to actually get the photos that you have. You see how these are AI images, AI created images, generated, whatever. Okay. Sometimes those are all right. If you don't have anything else, you got to use those placeholders, as I was kind of mentioned earlier. Do so. Don't let it hinder you or keep you from moving forward. However, you do want authentic images as much as possible. Okay, so since I do have authentic images, what I ended up doing was putting those images in. Let me see. I'm getting to it. I'm letting the camera footage go. There we go. So, as you can see, I'm grabbing the images that I got. These aren't even all of them. Sometimes I think if the images are too big, if the file is too big, rather, like past 20 megabytes or something like that, or something like that, 20 something. I remember it being like, I remember being too much and I was pissed. But yeah, so if the file's too big, unfortunately, you might have to find some kind of way to compress it in order to put it on the site, because I actually have some videos that I want to put on my personal website that I can't put on there because it's too big a file. So some of the stuff that I do have you won't see on here. I had to re-download, but for the most part, these are some of the images, right? I think you can only do like 9 or 10 at the most at a time. So you just put in however many you got to put in, and then you kind of go from there. All right, let me see. Okay, as you can see, I've added the images. This is a gallery background, so I like to make those on my websites, and you'll see it'll slide through some of the images to kind of keep your attention instead of just looking at a plain flat image in the beginning. Okay, this also gives you something to look forward to as you move throughout the website. There's a slider up top that changes the language, but on this version, unfortunately, I remember it messed up. So remember when I said the app be messing up sometimes when you give it too many commands? I gave it a command to do something, and it changed the slider, which is supposed to go from English to Spanish. Okay, so make sure when you do simple edits inside of Lovable, like if you just changing one thing or you're adding one thing, to make sure, especially when you're changing something, make sure to give it a small prompt at the end and say change nothing else. So like, hey, add this image to this, change nothing else. Okay, because sometimes it'll just change something random. But this is the menu. So you see I'm scrolling through. These are the pictures for like some of the menu items. Right, very nice. Some of them are duplicate images because I didn't have another image to go there. But remember, this stuff could just be placeholder. So as you see, I'm going to be clicking the social media tabs here at the bottom, so you can make sure all that stuff works. This is the About You page. Lovely couple I put there, as you can see. And that message actually is going to end up being in Spanish later. I had to adjust that as well. But all right, so these are the social media tabs. And as you see, I clicked the Instagram and it led there. I forgot to put that in the video. I'll put it in the next one. You want to basically give it the command to make an icon for the social media that you do have access to. You want to take the link and then you give it to Lovable, and it'll connect them. That way when they tap and tell it to make it a button. So that way when they click the icon, like this Facebook one here, it's going to lead to that actual location. Okay. Every website has this. Very simple. You want to make sure you add that to whatever website you're doing, if they have multiple social medias. Okay. Also, I connected their maps so you can find the location. This is something that you want to make sure you do with every website that you can. Like I said before, you want to get all the information you possibly can. I actually got their Google location, right? They sent me that instead of just the maps, and that allowed me to place basically their placement. When you click that, because you can see the directions as well. But that kind of helped me out because that actually gave me the exact address. So as you can see, you can find them very easily. I think it helps with their SEO as well because it actually pulls them up. Okay. Last but not least, I connected their WhatsApp. So as you see, when I clicked the WhatsApp button, it led me straight there and it left a little message there in Spanish. Okay. So this is their WhatsApp number directly. It works the same way as the other stuff. You want to take their number and you want to tell ChatGPT or Lovable, hey, connect this number to the WhatsApp or their email. Say, you know, hey, connect this email to their email, this, that, and the other. I'm gonna show those prompts next time I do it. I don't know how come I don't have the footage. I think some of it got erased or something like that. So I'm gonna do that again so you guys can have a better idea, so you can see it on the next one. But for this one, this will work. All right. Now everything you'll see here will basically be the finished product. As you can see up top in the top right, I fixed the button for English and Spanish translation. I think I switched through that here as well. I fixed the image for the fish offer that they have. Now I didn't have more than one picture, unfortunately, so it's kind of a duplicate picture, but it's fine, you know what I mean? And these are all the paws, the sausages that they provide. So I'm going through everything. Paws again, you know what I'm saying? So you perverted watchers out there, you know what I'm saying, balls. Well, there you have it. There's a few other things I think on the website I'm gonna have to show off here in a second. The gallery, that's one thing that I didn't show off. That's the last thing I'm gonna show off, and then we'll end the video. But basically in the gallery, I just took some of the videos that they sent. Thankfully they weren't too large of files. I was able to use all of them. A couple that I couldn't use. Some of these pictures you'll also notice with some of the B-roll and the background, the gallery photo, and the gallery in the beginning, right? Like these right here, right? Totally fine to do, because when people come into the website, they'll see the images in the background playing, and that might entice them. They might be like, "Ooh, I want to see that. I want to see more of that," right? So now they can actually see it in the gallery, you know, unhindered by the title and all that other stuff. So I'm just letting y'all see how it works. And you know, the videos work. You click the videos and they will play. This is all inside the gallery. As you see, it also has names for each one. I didn't even put those names in there. So it's AI is getting better and better. So if you have a name for the file, usually if you name the photo, what I've learned in the past, if you name the photo in your files, when you upload it, it'll have that name attached to it. If it has no name, it'll associate the name that's best with what's in the picture as well. These, I had, as you seen earlier, like 100 and some odd photos and videos. He sent me some more stuff off camera as well to put up on here. So I had too much, right? With that being said, I didn't have enough time to name every last one of them. So as you see, there was names on those. That's what Lovable did itself, right? Just to make sure it had, and they were accurate names. I didn't even have to change anything, which is really good. So it's pretty good in that aspect. Just one more overview of the About You page. You see right there, that was actually supposed to be in Spanish. It is now. All right, and there you have it. So if you liked the video or you learned anything, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any updates. And I'll get back to you guys soon. Peace out.